Game of the month.
Game of the month.
I'm all in. Welcome back, degenerates, baby. What a past week. We gave you the best picks. We gave you the best teams. The best team seemed to win. Ohio State came back. It's time for the greatest betting podcast, the greatest sports show on the internet, right here. Degen Hours Podcast. Yep. What do you say we get into it, boys? Let's do it.
Let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, people say there is no such thing as a free lunch. Well, we've changed all that. And we're here to give you a lot more than some stupid sandwiches.
The Subscribers Picks Parlay is a brand new way for you guys, the viewers, to have a chance at a free roll of all of our bets. Now, as gamblers, I know there's literally nothing better than a free roll. And that's what we intend to do by spending our money to give you guys a chance to win up to $1,500 for free every single week.
Here's how it works. At the end of each show during football season, we are going to be giving out our best bets of the week against the spread. These are known as our mortal locks. After everyone's given out their pick, we are going to be calculating live on the show how much a $50 bet would pay on the 5-way mortal lock parlay. Typically, this is going to pay out over $1,200. If all 5 of those bets hit this week, we are going to be giving away 100% of the winnings to one lucky person at no cost to you, the viewer, at all.
And all you have to do to have a chance at winning the Subscriber Picks Parlay is like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Us here at the pod appreciate any support we get on our videos. We can't wait for the week where we get to give away over $1,000 to one loyal subscriber. So if the parlay hits this week, we'll select one winner from our subscriber pool and announce that winner first thing in next week's episode.
We are locked in, boys. I can feel it. College football, NFL football is finally here, and we're going to hit that parlay multiple times this year, and you can get on the action and sweat it out with us right now. Now, there's a few ways you can do that. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, baby. Share with a friend, and you're going to win some money this year with us too.
We had quite the week on the show. A lot of really good picks given out. We gave out a lot of games last week, and we had some huge winners. Like, some people were at 67, 65%, myself included. Big week for me in college. Let's go ahead and recap all of the action. I'll start with myself. For college football, I was 8-4-2. Those two pushes.
Another good week.
Those two, back-to-back huge weeks over 60%.
Love it.
That's 67% on the week. So that's 62.5% last week, 67% this week. We're only getting better. Those two pushes, I'm a little salty. Could have been wins pretty easily. 3-3 on the week in NFL. Not great. First week, I'm not winning in NFL. We went even, but it's fine. Overall percentage moves up to 54% with a 32-27 overall record. So I'm very happy about that.
Very solid.
Ryan, our best percentage on the podcast, 8-5 college football, 57% overall.
Just too easy in college.
2-2 in NFL.
My first non-winning NFL week.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not even bad. It's just
71% overall in NFL.
I know. NFL, I'm still giving
Your
you sharp
total
picks.
record of all picks given out, and this is the crazy part, 37-23-1.
That's incredible.
You're never going to get it better anywhere
That's
else.
incredible.
No, you actually might not ever get
You won't
That's
pay for any
incredible.
better.
He
You
is
get it for
Vegas.
free. He makes the lines.
That's actually
for
crazy.
Vegas.
62% on that volume of games. You've picked over 60 games.
No, that's
to
absurd.
be over 60%, solidly over 60%
that's
is
insane.
so impressive. Like that's just keep it rolling.
I will.
Just
Yeah,
keep it rolling.
keep it
If you're watching the show, you're probably gonna want to be betting anything he says.
Yep.
Tate, a pretty good week in college, 9-6 for the week in
That's
college.
solid.
3-5 NFL. Not great.
NFL as well.
I had a great day on Saturday, really bad day.
Yeah, you gave back on Sunday a bit.
exactly.
But you're still above 500. You got 36, 32, and 3 overall. 53%.
That's what matters. Stay above 50. I'm giving out winners.
So
Bam.
on this side of the table, we got 54%, 62%, 53%.
Oh yeah, baby.
Michael, your college picks have been tough.
Yeah, really bad.
Fade my
yeah.
college.
Another week, you got to start fading
Really
these college
bad.
picks.
Really bad.
Fade Mike.
I should
Mike.
fade myself.
Every episode, shout out Ed. He comments.
Friend of the pod.
Hashtag
Friend of the
Friend of the
Mike.
pod, shout out
Friend
Ed.
of the pod, shout out Ed. Mike was 4-7 on the week in college. Your college total for the season, 34%.
You know,
That's
my-
66%
that
winner.
correlates with my betting accounts.
Well, I assume so.
Yeah.
NFL, however, I mean, that's the most linear. That's the most A to B connection you could have made. That.
I mean, it makes the math is mathing. But there's a but.
You are not wrong. There is a but. NFL, you're the opposite of that.
And I bet heavy on NFL.
Highest percentage on the podcast in NFL. 3-1.
Bang!
3-1 on the week. 83% overall for NFL.
Bang! Give me a B.
Give you a what?
Because get like in 83% is like a B, but like that's like good.
Oh. All right, whatever. Mike's total record 21, 23.
As you can see, he's just the sharpest human alive.
I mean, I'm trying to get through the picks, and my
Let's get it.
All right.
No, he's just the best.
48% overall. You're inching up on that 50%. We had a question like 3 weeks ago. Will you ever get over 50? It's
I'm
close.
getting there. I'm getting there.
We'll see. Maybe stop picking
college-
so
college-
much.
End the college.
That's just
completely
I would
into
give
the
one
college,
pick for
yeah.
college. It'd be Texas, and then you could pick your NFL card. Like, just do it.
I'm not doing that.
The last and also kind of least on the show, but a great week. A great week. Mario, 12-8 in college.
Yep.
That was a great week. He did say he was going to turn it around.
You did say you were going to turn around. Brings your total from the 30s percentile to 47% for college
we go.
football. Not
Yep.
bad.
Wow, that's bad.
4-2 on the week in NFL, so great overall week for you.
Yep.
29, 31, and 1 on the year, 48%. He's
back.
So, yeah, you're back.
Yeah. I know. I said last week I was going to refocus. I wasn't happy with my performance the past few weeks on the card. Mortals have been good, but the card, had to pick it up, had to bring it back. So, yeah, we're refocused. We're going to get back over 50%.
Totally.
That's where
I
we're
mean,
gonna
for
go.
this week, you gave out 16 and 10
Yeah.
for your picks. That's a great week.
It's a great week.
Fantastic
I was
week.
confident with my card.
And yeah, you're great with the mortals. Something we were not great with this week is the upsets.
Terrible.
It was the first time.
It is
Yeah.
the
Give us a
first
break.
time no one hit an upset. We went 0 for 5
Yeah.
on
that's
upsets
rough.
this week.
That's rough.
Really bad. Quickly to recap where everyone's at for the yearly standings for upset. Mario plus 3.65 units.
Shador.
Shout out Colorado.
The
week
Shador.
one. The
Someone
Shador.
better watch it. There you go, right.
The Shador. Michael still in the positive, plus 0.9 units.
Hey.
I've lost 4 straight upsets, so minus 4. Minus
Keep
4.
swinging for the fences, kid.
Oh, this week we are swinging for the fences. We have
boy.
That's what I like to hear.
almost plus 1,000. We got a plus 950 pick coming for you, and it's gonna hit. Ryan down 1 unit now. He was even last week, down 1.
Yeah.
Tate
That's fair.
plus 1.2 units. So
Bang.
everyone's still kind of hanging around the even mark, except for me. I'm down a lot, and Mario's up a bunch. So we're gonna hit some upsets this week. We're not gonna go 0 for 5 again.
Never.
Something that we will never go 0 for 5 for, hopefully, is the Mortal Lock. So I want to recap the Mortal Lock parlay. We did not hit again. We can't win these things.
Jesus.
Two new people are now relegated. Shout out me and Ryan being awful.
But someone's back.
But someone's back. So yeah, we'll start with Mario here. I'll go around the table. We'll talk about the Mortals for a second. Mario,
Seahawks.
you gave out the Seahawks minus 5.5. They won by 10 over the Panthers. Great pick.
Such a good
Yeah, I was a little bit sweaty in the first
That was
half.
weirdly sweaty.
Yeah, it was weirdly sweaty, but I kind of just figured as the game went on through 4 quarters, Seahawks would eventually pull away,
Yeah,
which they
12th
did.
man, yeah.
So
It was easy.
I mean,
call.
your Mortals are fantastic. You're the only one up here actually giving out real best bets for your Mortals. You're 48% on all your picks, 80% for the Mortals. You're 4-1. That's
insane.
Awesome.
That's
So
absurd.
keep riding it. Mario's Mortals are absolute fire. You need to be betting these every week. Michael had the Browns Titans over 39.
This was awful.
No, there was 30 points scored.
we knew that.
And the Titans only scored 3.
everyone knew.
Everyone knew that was up.
You're now 2-3 on Mortals, but you're still in the parlay. So
Congrats.
I have no excuse for last week, but this week is much better. So with
yeah.
train keeps going.
Mike
Mike,
on relegate?
is Mike
No,
on
no,
relegation?
No. I
he
won the
won.
week
Wow,
before.
he went.
I won the
two
week
swing,
before.
Lose.
Yeah, he's alternating. So
Yeah.
if he keeps his pattern, this week's a win.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
I am relegated now. This is this Mortal was a disaster. I gave you the Penn State Iowa over 40. Penn State won 31-0.
Yeah.
To put this in context, Iowa had not been shut out in 40 years, or it might have been 30 years. Their coach in the whole press conference was like, "This was the most embarrassing thing." Like, it was brutal. The live team total over for Iowa
Was 1.5 was
0.5 in the third quarter.
Oh yeah.
In the
I
third
saw
quarter,
that.
they did not cross
You literally
midfield.
said, I win this bet unless Iowa State scores 0.
Or Iowa
scores 0 points.
Yeah, no,
On
I
the
knew Penn
podcast.
State would kill them. I should have given out the spread, but I was like, no, I just think Iowa scores some points. Penn State can score 40. But yeah, this was a brutal one. I'm now 1-4 on Mortals and out of the parlay. I'm relegated, lost 3 in a row. So
Something new for you. You're
Yeah,
now
also
never-
the first time you've ever been
we
relegated.
did this whole last year. We just kept track amongst ourselves. I was the only one who was never relegated.
Yeah.
I'm really. I don't know what to say. I'm pretty disappointed about this. Another person who
We lost another house.
yeah, very surprisingly relegated is Ryan after being 64% overall.
Our best percentage better.
Yeah, he gave out USC minus 35. They were never covering that spread. They were only up
that
14.
hurts. That hurt the bank account.
I was so wrong about USC. They are not as good as I thought they were. Like as a whole, as a team,
Yeah.
they are really not as good as I thought they were. Like a terrible pick. I have a new strategy. I will tell you when we pick on mortals for my bets. It's very interesting and it's very live and it gets better.
Yeah,
actually like it.
Ryan now also 1-4 on mortals, and both of us are out of the parlay. So being relegated
How
means
embarrassing is that?
It's awful.
That ends right now.
So yeah, it ends right now. Someone who was in relegation, he was not in the parlay last week, but won his mortal. Now he's back in.
I'm
He
back.
gave out Arkansas LSU over 55.5. That hit with ease.
Shout out Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, shout out. Tate
Dang.
back in the parlay, now 2-3 in mortals. So your mortal lock parlay this coming week is going to be the 3-teamer between Tate, Mike, and Mario. Ryan and I need to win one to get back in, so we will tell you those at the end of the show. Stick
Next week
around.
you'll have a 5-team parlay.
I was gonna say, yeah, we need to.
Next
all
week
get
we're all
back
gonna
in
let's hit
but-
it this week. We're gonna pay you some money this week
And
with the
then-
A
3-teamer.
little teaser.
Yeah, and then
Little
we're gonna
teaser.
hit the big guy
Yeah.
next week. So
that'd be
stick
sick.
around for all the picks. Let's go ahead and get into the action. We got some NFL to talk about. Let's go.
Bang!
NFL action is back. We are ready to roll. Last week, great weekend in NFL for our cards. I mean, all of us for picking NFL are like insane.
75%, babe.
I think you're
71.
You're 83.
75% last week, but 83 overall.
Yeah, 83%
Sorry.
overall in NFL. These picks have been golden. We got some big games to talk about. First one, I think, is one of the games of the year. Dolphins at Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
that is a massive game.
Massive.
Dolphins look like arguably the best team in the league, and they're going into Buffalo. Very difficult place to play. Those fans are arguably the craziest fan base in the league.
Yeah.
We got Buffalo at minus 2.5 with the total at 53.5 points.
Wow.
Crazy game. Mario, how do you feel about this line?
I'm leaning on the Dolphins. I'm gonna take their points, and I also love the over. I think this is usually a place where in the past I would go under, just because it's at Buffalo, stingy place to play. But dude, it just looks like no one can stop Tua in that offense.
That's the best offense.
Tyreek looks unguardable. The running backs are crazy. So give me the over and give me the Dolphins points. I actually like them in this spot.
Ooh, are you doing money line as well? Or are you just sprinkling the points for a little?
I would. Well, I'll get to money line later in the episode.
Ooh,
But
upset of the week.
but Josh Allen, I think he's still trying to find his groove on offense a little bit. So I think this is a good spot for the Dolphins.
Okay, nice. Mike, how do you feel?
I feel very similar, although I am not so happy about it. Looking at public betting, there's about like 60% on the Dolphins and 68% of the money is on the Dolphins as well.
It's gonna skew a lot.
With all that being said, and regardless if it skews or not, I'm a fish because I freaking love the Dolphins offense.
You're a
this
big
year.
Tua guy.
I'm a big Tua guy.
I see what you
I-
said there. Fish, because they're dolphins.
Fish, dolphin. Yeah, I'm very
Water.
I'm very aquatic right now.
This week he's aquatic.
But again, similar to Mario, I'm a fish because I like the Dolphins points, but I'm in love with the over because even if the Bills don't score, the Dolphins can cover it by themselves. We saw it last week. Literally, they can do it by themselves. I love it. The over, the Dolphins, everything Dolphins, bang!
Yeah, I am sadly completely in line with you. Maybe not sadly because you're so sharp. with
83%,
that.
baby.
Yeah, 83%.
Come on.
That good.
I am all over the Dolphins. I am going to keep riding. There are a few teams that I've been betting that I'm going to keep riding until they prove me wrong. It's just kind of what I do. Dolphins money line, Dolphins plus 2.5, and the over. The Bills are a good team. Very good team. Dolphins might have the best offense we've seen in the last 10 years. I mean, this offense is actually insane. The running backs are crazy fast. Tua is throwing dimes. I mean, he had more touchdowns last week than incomplete passes.
No, he's actually going
And he threw
ridiculous.
31 attempts. Like, that's a lot of passes to throw to have more touchdowns than incompletions. Granted, they played the the Broncos defense, which is atrocious, terrible.
yeah.
I do think the Bills put up points, so yeah, over on this game as well. But let's let this be a shootout. The weather in Buffalo is not bad enough for this to be like a grinded out snow game. Perfect time of the year to play in Buffalo. Let's be a sunny game.
I'm down.
Tua score 40, Josh Allen score 25 over in the Dolphins. Easy.
Bang.
I know where Ryan's going.
Yeah, it's classic overreaction of last week.
I love it.
People don't realize that 2 weeks ago they played in Patriots a divisional game, and Tyreek Hill was very much slowed down with Jalen Waddle, both of them. And I just think if you play them correctly with a good head coach, it will not be an absolute blowout. And the Bills not only have a great defense that people sleep on for no reason, but they have a great head coach. Not only do I like the Bills minus 2.5, I love this under. Like, I think a divisional game like this, where it's like, this is the fight. You need to win this game if you want to win, if you want to have a seed. Could be the 1 seed. We'll see how the AFC pans out. But, like, you need to win this game. This is such a big game because now if Bills win, they don't have a worry because they go into the Dolphins. If the Bills lose, they're screwed if they have to go into Miami and win a game to try to get the 1 seed. I love the Bills minus 2.5 here. I think people like don't realize that they beat the Commanders. Was it 37-3?
Yeah.
Like that has not been talked about at all because the Dolphins, granted, like it was historic, but like Washington's better in every aspect, in my opinion, than the Broncos. Like every single aspect.
For sure.
And it was in Washington. This was in Miami. Like I just think Buffalo, they played one bad game against the Jets. Roll. I love Buffalo here. I think they go back to the form that people remember of winning the division every single year. So I love this.
So you're completely opposite of us.
everyone.
But you like the under.
I love the under here.
Okay.
Divisional game.
So
I can see the argument for Buffalo.
I just think
like the points.
McDermott's not going to just go here, have Tyreek give 100 times. Do what Belichick does. We'll take out Tyreek, beat us with Waddle, beat us with Mostert, which I just don't think happens. But we'll see.
Fair enough. I feel like that's the sharp play. I just my brain, my recency bias is like, wow, they're gonna
I think
score a lot
sharp
of
play
points.
is definitely Buffalo.
And that's also kind of why I introed mine with I'm a fish.
Yeah.
Let's see where Tate lies on this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Ryan here as well. I actually love Buffalo minus 2.5. I think last week he touched on a little bit that they played, or 2 weeks ago they played New England. And New England shot themselves in the foot quite a few times where they had a chance to tie that game and win that game outright. They shut down, Bill Belichick came out with a game plan and he shut down Tyreek Hill to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
And that team, like that over-under for the Patriots this year was not high. And for them to beat a team like, or have a chance to beat a team like Miami, that's a big deal. And I think, like Ryan said, this line's a classic overreaction. Everybody, and I guarantee that line will go up for the public. They're going to be all over the Dolphins this week.
75% of the Dolphins.
And Vegas knows something we don't. Obviously, it's going to be a classic overreaction. I think this is a great spot for Buffalo to be like, no, we are still the best team in the division, especially at home. So give me the Bills minus 2.5.
Ooh, I like it. So we're a little split on that.
Sorry, really quick. Are you also taking the under for that line or
No, I'm not choosing it over.
no? Okay.
Yeah, that over under. I feel like it's gonna either be like a total way under game or way over.
I think both teams have been scoring, so I love the points. But
Yeah, no, I love the points too. But all right, next game, my game of the week, my favorite game on the slate.
Oh, this is the best game of the week.
Best game of the
God.
week. Broncos
Game of the year so far.
at the Bears.
Yeah.
I mean, these two teams absolutely electric.
Yeah.
These offenses have been doing nothing. These defenses have been allowing every over to hit in the world because they don't even put up an attempt. Denver's minus 3.5. The total is 46. Tate, I'm throwing it back to you here. In this game of the year type scenario for these teams, 2 0-3 programs, where do you lean it?
I mean, we all know what I did a couple weeks ago, and I put my money on the
mortal.
Broncos. Yeah, my mortal.
Your mortal.
On the
You mortal
Broncos,
the Broncos.
against the Commanders. And wow, did they lose in one of the most embarrassing ways ever. I mean,
One of those electric ones.
up 21-3 at halftime, just an absolute choke.
Yeah.
Tank
It was
We're going
impressive.
back to the well. Give me the Broncos minus 3.5.
Dang!
They played the best. They played the best offense in the NFL last week, and they got absolutely murdered. And I think once you're piling it on, the defense just can't keep up. I mean, they're tired. They've been on the field the whole game, and you just can't keep up. They have to play better. The Bears are the worst team in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Denver Broncos are not. They're probably the
second.
third. So give me the Broncos.
I mean,
minus
this
the
game's
3.5.
going to decide who's the worst.
Yeah, this is the Caleb Williams Bowl.
Yeah.
Surtain, someone said, earlier, Surtain's going to have a pick or two. Give me the Broncos minus 3.5.
All right.
It's my line in the same game for Justin Fields. I'm going to die on the sword as hard as I
President
can.
of the Justin Fields fan club.
I'm going to die on that
card-carrying
freaking
member.
sword. No, I have like a huge subscription to the Justin Fields everything. But huge. I just think, so last year, I when you are down so bad on a pick, you have to find reasons for your logic to be right. Last year, for Justin Fields, the first 3 weeks, he was horrible last year, and the team averaged 10.5 points a game.
Yeah.
And then
Then they let him run.
After week 4, he turned it on and just did whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
They still lost, but then their average went up to 22.5.
Yeah.
It's just sharp.
Because they get to those points, Bears are coming plus 3.5, but that's not the bet I love. I love the over. I think this is going to be a classic shootout that people don't want to see but love seeing. Give me the over of 46. I love it.
I am riding with you so hard on that over. I have done a strategy that has been foolproof through 3 weeks in the NFL.
Yep.
Single-handedly carrying all
One
of
of
my
the
NFL records.
sharpest things you could.
Yeah, I bet the overs in games with bad quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So every
These
single
are the worst.
every single game for the Bears, I have taken their opponent's points. I've laid the number with the opponent's points, and I've taken the over. So I am not changing up here at
3
all.
for 3.
I don't know how Denver wins. I think they suck, but it just makes too much sense for me. So
Yeah.
Denver minus the 3.5 and all in hammer play over because Bears love, even if they don't score, they will find ways to throw pick sixes. It's the way 2 of their overs fit. It's electric.
Yeah, find the line for defensive touchdown for the Broncos.
Oh, it's probably even money.
Anytime touchdown score, Denver Broncos, even money.
He likes
Oh
to
my God.
That's when Justin Fields prefers throwing touchdowns to the defense.
Line in the sand, Justin Fields. Come back.
All right, Mike, how you feeling?
You live changed my only pick for this game, which is going to be the under of 46 because I hate both quarterbacks so much.
You got to bet the over.
But yeah, you're right. I think I do have to bet the over.
Yeah.
The first line I have in my notes is why are we talking about this terrible game? But
It's electric.
It might be the best
That's
game
great.
on the slate. I mean, might be the best game on the slate.
Yeah,
I
100%.
I kind of agree, but I hate to agree. Live change over 46. They both suck, but over.
Somehow points.
Yeah.
That's my logic.
This should be America's game of the week.
Somehow points.
It is.
I don't know how it's not.
Yeah, Mario, how do you settle?
I mean, I'm all over this game. This is my game of the week, dude. This is, I mean, if you just look at the offenses of both teams, you got Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. I mean, we
best
got
to do it.
Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson versus Javonte Williams. We got DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton. I mean, there's just stars all over. I don't know. I can't get enough of this game. Over. I mean, this is just going to be points.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
it's
I don't know.
Nobody
Somehow
gets it.
points.
Who scores?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Somehow.
This is their Super Bowl.
Washington was 70 points. Dolphins was 90.
Listen, this is a statement game for the Broncos. For the Broncos.
I'm by myself.
This is a statement game. That doesn't mean they're covering. It just means they're gonna win. Take Broncos money line.
I like
take
that.
Bears points. Take the over.
How sharp are you?
I see every single play.
31-30 Broncos?
Absolutely.
Way too
Oh my
sharp.
god.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
So-
this is the headline of the game is Broncos Bears somehow points.
Yeah. It's just like somehow.
Somehow score number go up.
Yeah.
Last game of the week we want to talk about before we get into college. Monday night game, Seahawks at Giants.
Bang.
This line has me floored. New York is minus 1.5. Over under is 47. I mean, I just quickly, this line's insane to me.
I'm gonna lose all my money.
We could just.
I'm gonna
I mean,
actually-
we could just go around the table and just say one word.
No, I'll say my word first.
Okay. Oh yeah.
This line's insane and it makes no sense. That's why I have to ride with the Giants. I mean,
Yep.
I have.
There's nothing better than Tyler riding with the Giants.
No, listen.
it makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen. The Giants are one of those teams that may not be good, but somehow once in a while they are going to win games. They just pull out a win. You're like, oh, maybe Daniel Jones isn't that bad. And then the next game he does terrible. He did terrible last game.
He's awful.
Every other game he has his moments.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks are a very good football team. They should never be underdogs here.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. Give me the Giants. I love it. It's definitely on the card. Giants minus 1.
It's terrible. I mean, this is awful. This is gonna be this might be a murder. I might alt spread Seahawks minus 10.5, like something crazy. It's gonna hit the over easily. By the way, Seahawks overs are automatic.
Yeah.
Every year,
Love
all
the
the
over.
time.
Over.
This over is 46.5, I believe, is just
Yeah.
gonna be a murder. I think the Seahawks roll them. They are also getting Jamal Adams back. Over half a pick. Daniel Jones is gonna throw it right to his hand. Jamal Adams' first game back in a year. I think this is gonna be a roll. Saquon's not coming back, right?
He is coming.
There's
Oh,
it's
He's projected
questionable.
like
It's
17
questionable.
points.
If he's on the field, I'll alt spread it to 14.5. I think this is gonna be a murder.
Big Matt Breida guy.
No, huge Matt Breida guy. So absolute murder. I love the Seahawks. I'm all in. I don't care about Lions bets. Nothing. This is just common sense hammer.
Yeah.
Geno Smith's gonna throw all over his team.
Tate.
All right. I wrote in parentheses if Tyler is on the Giants.
Oh, come on.
I am on the Seahawks. So
That's gonna be the Seahawks.
Hey,
minus 1.5.
switch it up.
I've won
That's
every
three
game
up,
this
three
year that
up,
he's been on
three
the
up,
Giants.
three
Wait,
up.
actually, you know what? No, I'm sticking on the
Oh,
Giants.
okay.
I was gonna switch, but I
You
can't.
switch back.
Yeah, you just back and forth. No, yeah. So, am I by myself on the Giants here,
No,
guys?
Mike, join him.
Mike
please.
Well-
has to ride with Saquon.
I was just gonna let you know that the sharpest NFL bettor in the group is also riding on the Giants
Let's go.
for the strict reason that it makes absolutely no sense to pick the Giants.
No
the
sense.
Giants should not win this game. They should
I
not
love
be
when Mike
favored
gets
in this
cocky. I
game.
love it.
This is the stupidest line I've ever seen. But Vegas is also so much smarter than anyone else on this table and
Last
most
week,
of the people in
Vegas
the
got
world.
killed. 1-8.
Well, not in the NFL because I think a lot of parlays and a lot of lines are broken with like the Vikings and Cowboys.
Yeah, no, the public bets did win big last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what you were saying, you're riding the Giants here.
Giants, bang.
Giants.
Saquon,
Mario?
Saquon to your promised land. More than Bijan.
I hope Saquon doesn't play because I got Matt Breida on fantasy, so I need him to play.
Oh my god.
I mean, Matt Breida
This-
might be your best player on your fantasy.
Saquon is so beautiful.
Behind Jameer Gibbs, yeah.
Yeah, you're hurt.
Yeah, I'm hurting right now. Nick Chubb, I'm sorry, man. 6 yards per carry. I just anyways, enough about that. Over is the play in this game. Seahawks have just been scoring. Give me the Seahawks plus 1.5. I like this spot for them. The Giants, I think this is a little bit disrespectful on the Seahawks just because the first few weeks they've been kind of keeping teams in games, and I think they think it's going to be similar, and they're going to keep the Giants in the game, and Giants like pull away just because they're at home. But I think the Seahawks handle business here. Give me the Seahawks, and give me the over. Over's the play.
Over.
Interesting.
I know. I love
Interesting.
it. Over.
Over.
Has to hit.
Over.
Has to hit.
So
Yeah.
we're on no consensus lines, but I kind of like that. We're all spread out. We'll see how these
Wait, does
ones
anyone
fall.
have the under?
No one's on the
Nobody
under.
has the under for this.
Did everyone just give the over as well?
Yeah.
I didn't have the over.
I'm not
For
choosing
the
a
people that are
total.
betting over. Under.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
choosing
yeah.
a total.
I was gonna say for
I'm
on
on
the
the over,
on the
yeah.
team side, no one like consensus teams on the spread. But yeah, we got a big week of NFL, another huge week of college football,
Yep.
and I got a lot of picks to make. So let's talk about some of those best games.
Bang!
Last week in college football was absolutely electric. The matchups we had were arguably the best we'll see before
Lived
like
up to the hype.
yeah.
For sure.
yeah, before the bowl weekends or conference championships. But this week is not too bad either. We got 4 marquee games to talk about, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. Kicking it off with Mr. Yoon's favorite team, the Texas Longhorns. Kansas goes to Texas. Texas minus 16.5. Total 60. So the total's at 62. Just go ahead. What do you have to say about this game?
Jalen Daniels can suck my ass. Sorry.
And he probably enjoyed it.
sorry. Whoa, bleep. Inappropriate. Anyways, Jalen Daniels, let's get into it. He's not bad. He's not bad.
Yeah.
But
You hate him.
I think the way that we're going to win this game is going to be very reliant on our defensive line. It's going to rely on us being able to get back to Jalen Daniels and putting pressure on him, forcing errant throws.
To cover or to win the game?
To both.
Are you a little worried about the cup?
Definitely.
yeah, you
No, I'm
didn't-
definitely smacking the freaking.
All right, what's your pick for the game? How do you feel about the game?
Oh, I love Texas. I mean, I got it right.
You opened it the
Texas
way you say the way we're gonna win this game. You know, not
Yeah,
the way we're
that-
gonna cover and kill them.
Yeah, it sounded like you thought it was gonna be a close game.
Yeah. It sounds
Oh no.
So you're taking Kansas.
No. Okay, so no. Sorry about that. I got a little distracted.
Oh, he's off the hat now.
Wow.
Texas
So
minus,
Kansas.
He's on Kansas.
Texas minus 16.5 is the play. The way in which we're going to do that is we're going to pressure Jalen Daniels, get back to him, sack him like 8 to 9 times a game,
Wow, that's a
sometimes
lot of
within that
sacks.
game.
A lot of sacks.
We're just
hammer
gonna
that
rail him, and then
This isn't the women's bathroom.
Yeah,
Mike, Jesus.
pause.
What do you mean? Wait.
Explain.
Wait, what did you say you're gonna do? How are you gonna?
Yeah, I want to see instant replay. Pull up the clip.
rail him.
This last 2 minutes of Michael's just talking about Texas is highly.
Hook 'em
suspect.
horns, baby.
Hook 'em. Yeah.
There's your pick.
Over.
Yeah.
under,
I mean,
everything?
Michael's taking Texas.
Under and Texas minus 16.5.
If we let Mike talk anymore about this game, we might get kicked off of YouTube.
Bang!
So, Mario, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
You laid it on the
Hook 'em horns, baby.
I also,
Hook 'em horns.
I'm going to agree with Mike. I like the under here, under 64. I think it's going to be kind of grind out game. I just think this is too many points though to give to Kansas.
Yeah, they
I love
suck.
the plus 16.5 here. Texas has been playing teams pretty close as of recently.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe Vegas knows something I don't, but this just seems like way too comfortable of a point spread for Texas. So I'm just gonna happily take the Kansas plus the points and
Just see what happens.
see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not super heavy on either side here. I don't think this game plays very close though. I don't think Kansas is as good as advertised. They definitely aren't up there in my mind with like the 4-0 teams. I just think I don't know. I saw Kansas do this last year where they won a lot of games and people got really hyped on them. Quarterback's awesome. I like Daniels a lot, but they're in Texas. Texas is riding high. I mean, again, like when you're ranked in those top couple spots, the energy in your home stadium is crazy because everyone just sees like this could be the year for the national championship. Like we just can't mess it up.
Yeah.
And I don't think they mess it up this early. So yeah, I'm going to go Texas the easy way. I think they get this outside of the number pretty quickly. And maybe it sits around there for the third quarter, but I think they put this away, maybe win by like 21 points. So yeah, I'm going Texas here.
Yeah, I do love the under to start of 64. I think this is the best defense Texas is gonna face, and that's with saying they played Bama. Kansas corners with Kobe Bryant being one of the best cornerbacks in all of college football.
Yeah.
I think their corners. The only reason why Alabama has a good front, terrible on the back end. Kansas is the opposite, which I think that helps them guarding one of their wide receiver duo is ridiculous with Worley and Mitchell. But I love the plus 16.5 here. The number just keeps going down. It's going down, down. I just think even if they're up, this is a look at if they're up 21. You got the Red River rivalry next week.
Yeah.
Biggest game of the year.
The Red River murder? That
Sure,
we're gonna
whatever you want to
murder
call
them?
it for next week. But you don't no reason to play all your players.
Yeah.
Kansas can backdoor cover this, or they can sneakily take a win if Quinn wants to play like himself. But I don't know. I think Kansas defense holds it plus 17 in the under, or plus 16.5 in the under.
Yeah.
Ooh. Tate.
Yeah, Texas has been rolling, but I think this is clearly a classic look ahead spot for Texas, and too good of a spot to take a ranked Kansas team who easily is not as talented, but they do have a good enough quarterback where I think, like Ryan said, they could easily backdoor cover this, and you don't want to be relying on Texas and maybe their backups late in the game when they're up 24 points or 20 points, and all of a sudden Kansas scores a touchdown. So I'm going to take Kansas plus the points. I just think that's easy.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to say before we move on here is when you said the ranked Kansas, it reminded me of why I like Texas more. I feel like, I don't know, Vegas is like in conjunction with this AP poll, because I feel like whenever there's teams that are like clearly not one of the best 25 teams, maybe you could say Kansas is, I think they're ranked 24 or something, but like, and they play a big team, they always try to scoot them up in the ranking, so it's like a ranked matchups, and then people look at the lines like, oh, I'll take the other ranked team plus a bunch of points.
But in reality,
that's the only thing that like makes me, maybe I'm thinking
Texas hasn't really dominated bad teams though. That's the only thing.
No. I think that's the only reason that
crush Baylor.
that's the reason I really like Texas here, though, is because maybe I'm thinking too far into it, but I feel like people are going to look at it and be like, this is a ranked team. They're getting a lot of points. Like, I don't know.
I think Texas can very easily steamroll them. I just think the game script is that it's a look ahead spot for the Red River rivalry next week.
No, I totally see that, and I'm excited to talk about that game because that's going to be an electric game.
Fun.
Oklahoma looks pretty good themselves.
Yeah.
So, next game on the card. This is the Friday night game. If you're watching this on Friday, this game is going off pretty soon, so get your picks in now. Utah at Oregon State. Oregon State minus 3.5. Over-under is at 44.5. Mario, what do you think about this game? Both of these teams, I mean, it's a 10 versus 19 matchup. This is a big matchup for the Pac-12.
It is a big matchup. I see this game honestly going kind of similar to the UCLA Utah game last week. I like the under here in this spot, under 45. As far as the points, I'm going to take Utah. I don't love it, but I don't know. Oregon State hasn't shown me enough where they're going to roll over Utah. So I like that Utah can lose by a field goal and still cover.
Yeah.
But I love the under in this game.
Okay. Gotcha. Mike?
I just don't really believe in DJ. He clearly didn't. Yeah, exactly. He clearly didn't show up last week. I think he's still probably going to be out for a couple moons, and we have no idea when he's going to come back.
38-35.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came back towards the end. They got steamrolled to start the game.
Yeah.
No, and then they really bounced back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the comeback, whatever, they didn't win. So he's still not here. He's gone. Utah, take the points, bang.
Yeah, I'm scared. Come Friday, everyone's going to be on Utah money line and Utah plus the points, so this kind of scares me here.
Yeah.
But I'm siding with the guys here. I mean, Utah plus the 3.5. I think Utah's just better. Like if Utah was -3, it would surprise me a little because the game is in Oregon State and that place can get pretty rowdy. But I think Utah is a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
Like they're ranked 10 for a reason, even with very suspect quarterback play. I mean, like Cam Rising has not been there, and they're still ranked 10. They beat good teams. I don't think this is the game Utah lets it go. I don't think Utah's one of the best 3 teams in the Pac-12. Pac-12 is stacked this year.
Yeah.
I think you got the teams in Washington, you got USC and Oregon all above them in my mind. But I still think Oregon State's not really that good. Give me Utah plus the 3.5. I like it outright too on the money line.
Over under.
I'm not betting the over under. I mean, I've seen Utah games go way under, and I've seen Oregon State games go way over. So I'm not trying to play this either way. I haven't watched either team super closely. I would just be kind of making that up. So yeah, I'm just going Utah here outright.
I saw Cam Rising is he playing?
It's
Still up for
It's the
grabs?
same
Yeah,
every
it's the
week.
same
Larry.
I saw
week,
this
yeah.
week they're actually like it's not a game time. They're gonna say it like the day before.
I hope he plays.
I heard
So-
they just weren't going to announce it. They were just going to be like, he's going to roll out there.
Oh yeah,
But
but
whatever, yeah.
regardless, I would say, to pat myself on the back, one of the sharpest Utah bettors for the past year and a half now. Everyone just sleeps on Utah. I never understand why. Never. They're always plus the points.
No one believes them.
No one believes them. Like a lot of people had UCLA last week. Utah covered. I just think that I think this team is much better than people think. Their defense is
Good defense.
Defense is very
very,
good.
very
Good
good.
defense.
Yeah.
I love Utah, just like Washington State last week. I love Utah plus the points and the money line again to win this game. And I do like the over in this game, unfortunately. I think Oregon State's defense is terrible.
Yeah.
UCLA's defense isn't as bad. I think Utah last week, UCLA held them a little bit. I think they roll Oregon State. If Cam Rising's back, this over's going to be, get it now at 45 or whatever. It's
Yeah,
gonna-
44.5.
shoot
Yeah.
up.
If you get it now while you can. If Cam Rising starts that game, they could cover that on their own.
Yeah. Tape.
Yeah, I have something to say about this game later.
Pac-12 experts.
Whoa! You have over under? You want to have one side?
There's nothing I'm giving out until later.
I love that. I love that.
Wow. No.
Back in the parlay and making a pick for the mortal on a huge game.
Look
so
at him just getting
I love it.
saucy with
I
it.
do like.
Moving on, he's our Pac-12 expert
Friday
too.
game,
So
too.
yeah, on a Friday night mortal, it's electric. So if you're watching this now, his mortal later will be on this game, and your free roll on the parlay is going to be right on Friday. So tune into the Oregon State Utah game. Next game on the slate, and we're obviously going to start with Mario on this one. LSU at Ole Miss, huge
What
game
a
for LSU.
game.
LSU favored on the road, -2.5. Over under at 67. Sorry, how do you feel about this?
Over under at 67.
Yep.
Oh, it's gone up. Wow.
Yep.
Listen, this is kind of a tough spot. I don't know if I really love. I'm gonna take LSU -2.5, but I don't love it. I think the under's the play in this game, though.
Ooh, why?
Yeah. I just think compared to last week when we played Arkansas, KJ Jefferson is just a little bit tougher to deal with. Not so much as a pure passer because Jackson Dart's better, but just like physically, he's just like shiftier and moves around a lot, runs a ton.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little bit harder on our defense, puts a lot of pressure. They picked up a lot of like 3rd and long just by him running and extending the play. So I just think if Ole Miss does put up points, the drives are just going to be longer. It's just going to be a little bit more methodical. It's not going to be those big splash plays. Same thing with LSU's offense, dude. We're really hit or miss. Like some weeks we look like a top 5 offense. Other weeks we look like we could barely, beat Colorado. So I think it's going to be a tough game. I would just say give me the under.
Ooh, not even.
But
a
I think LSU probably pulls it out. But I don't know if we cover the 2.5. But LSU money line under 67.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be betting this pretty small, but my line of thinking is Jackson Dart versus the world doesn't really work. I think LSU can score. I don't like Ole Miss's offense that much. I'm clearly not a big Jackson Dart fan. I really am not huge on betting Brian Kelly and LSU this year, but regardless, LSU -2.5.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that. I think LSU -2.5 is the play here. I think Ole Miss had a chance against Bama to really cement themselves in the SEC in a year where the SEC is down as a whole compared to the other conferences. You look at the Pac-12, you look at the Big Ten, both those conferences, even the ACC has a bunch of teams in the top 25 up there. But I mean, Big Ten's got 3 in the top 6. And Pac-12 has like 7 ranked teams, and a lot of those are up there. If Ole Miss went into Bama and was able to pull that one out, I would be all over Ole Miss here. I think they ride the wave. I think that was a really discouraging game for them, though.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not favored at home here against an LSU team that has dropped games already in the year as well, I don't know. I'm off Ole Miss. I think LSU minus 2.5 is the play here. I'm not even thinking about it too hard. I think they cover this one relatively easily.
Yeah, I'm all over Mr. Dart here and Ole Miss plus 2.5. I think this is going to be actually a pretty easy win for them. I don't really see anything. I think Bama's defense is very, very good. And I don't know. Nick Saban wasn't going to lose that game. Like, no, doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Anything could have broke every quarterback's leg. It could have been a high school quarterback come up. I don't care. They weren't going to lose that game. It's Ole Miss at home. I think LSU just – I mean, what was their spread last week against Arkansas? 17. Yeah, they won by like 2.
1 by 3.
3. Like,
Field
I just think they're not playing at a high level, and just because they score points, that doesn't
Yeah,
mean you
I
can
mean,
give
we're
it to
really
them.
hit or miss. 2 weeks ago, we won. Our spread was like 9.5
won
or 8,
by
and we won
40.
by 40.
Which brought up my point.
So
My thing that made me love this so much is the Mario side. When Mario's been on their side, they've lost.
Yeah.
When you've been against them on purpose, they
they
won.
win, and that's
So
why I'm
you-
not on them this week. So,
But you took their money line. So I'm going to take Ole Miss.
well, yeah, just because I take their money line every
No,
week.
I'm just kidding. But I love Ole Miss plus 2.5, and I actually love the over. Jackson Dart's going to come out and score 45 on this team.
wow.
People forget about Jackson
No,
Dart.
he's good, but I think
People-
people don't realize LSU's edge rushers are actually a lot better than people think.
And they gave up
KJ
33.
Jefferson was playing out of his mind.
Casey Jefferson's not a bad
Jackson
quarterback.
Dart's better, and he will put up.
No, he's a
40.
better passer, but I don't think he's gonna be able to break out of sacks. Like,
We'll
but
see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Tate, where are you?
Yeah, I actually think Ole Miss is. I think they're seriously just frauds. I actually think
Wow.
that LSU's defensive line is going to roll them. I think their actual defensive line is going to play much better again because, like Mario said, KJ Jefferson obviously getting around, playing around with them somehow. I don't know how they were 17-point favorites. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I think this week LSU. I think the reason why LSU wins and covers this week is because of their defense, not because of their offense.
I love this. I'm against everyone.
I think they've got a shaky offensive line.
I think Ole Miss can cover though. I just think we'll win somehow.
2.5. I think
Playing in Ole Miss.
LSU's going to play a close game. LSU's going to play a close game.
I think it's a close game
I'm going to take the
under-
better team, obviously.
But-
But
Okay.
Makai Wingo, dude, he's
That's a
done.
sweat.
Yeah, no,
Sweat game.
I like it. We're kind of all over the place on
I
that.
know.
And Ryan's very against where a lot of us
Yeah,
are.
well,
so-
Ryan's really heavy on Ole Miss. I'm kind of in the middle. I think I just like the under, close game, and then,
Yeah, then
you're
I'm right.
really strong on LSU.
Yeah, I'm strong on LSU here. Last game of the week we're going to cover before we get into all of our cards and our best bets.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame at Duke. Surprisingly huge game.
Yeah.
If you would have looked at this preseason, you would have been like,
A basketball
this
school.
game doesn't matter at all. But Duke this year, oh my gosh, are they covering every spread?
Yeah, they're good.
And is Riley Leonard just skyrocketing upwards? I saw he's projected a top 10 pick now in the draft. He's QB3 overall. So crazy surprising that this is a relevant game. Notre Dame is minus 5.5 on the road going into Duke with the total set at 52. Tate, I'm going to start with you here. What do you like on this game?
Yeah, Riley Leonard has actually been a beast this year.
Awesome.
And
Oh,
like
he's been
everyone's
fire.
been sleeping on. I swear, every week Ryan's like, people are sleeping on Riley Leonard. Take Duke minus the points, right? And it's been working every week. However, I'm back on the Irish. Give me Sam Hartman minus 5.5. I think this is a fantastic bounce back spot because Duke is ranked. It's going to give them a much easier path and argument for maybe the one-loss college football playoff berth. So
Yeah, it's going to
I'm
be
gonna take Notre Dame minus the points. This game was at 3.5 points,
yeah.
and it's gone all the way up to 5.5 points in the last 2 days. So
I think it opened at 7, went to 3.5, and it's back to 5.5. So there's a lot of volume getting thrown around on this game.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're with the Irish, Ryan. What are you?
Yeah,
looking at?
so one thing I've learned is that Riley Leonard's been on a lot of boards to be drafted, but he hasn't been on any boards to be talking about Heisman. I think this is the game where he gets thrown in.
Wow.
Ooh.
I don't think
if they pull it out for
I
sure.
won't put my money on Riley Leonard to win Heisman, but this is where he's now in the conversation after he not only throws on this team, but he's going to have over 100 rushing yards and run all over this team.
Wow.
I think he's going to just the winning spot's close because Notre Dame, don't get me wrong, they played a great game against Ohio State.
They're a good team. They're a good team.
They went all out last week. They played out of their mind last week on defense. I think it's just a lot to come into Duke after being at home and having such a demoralizing game. You think it's a comeback game, but Duke has everything riding. Notre Dame just fell off a cliff. To come back again and get punched, I just think that's going to be tough. I love 5.5 here. So big. And I love the over. I think this point, if Duke's going to win, it's going to be 31-27 or something. But I love Duke plus 5.5.
Yeah, I was very encouraged, actually, by the way Notre Dame played last week. That's just Ohio State is a top team. There's no doubt about it. And Notre Dame every year, it's like you see them early and you're like, wow, they're great. And then you're like, oh, they play a good team. You get let down. That was not the case. I mean, they were stride for stride with Ohio State the entire game. That game could have really gone either way in a couple of huge spots. Tough for Notre Dame. They're not in a conference to play conference championship.
Yeah.
So their college football playoff argument is hurting right now.
Undefeated or bust, pretty much.
The only way I see them making it into the college football playoff, there'd have to be a couple lost team, at least one lost team with a bad loss in the Pac-12 that won, and you'd have to have the same in the ACC.
Well, Notre Dame has the toughest schedule in all.
Oh yeah, they play Clemson at Clemson again. They have a bunch of hard games. So
USC.
And so my reason of saying that is the only way Notre Dame makes the college football playoff, they lost to Ohio State by 3. If Ohio State wins the Big Ten, that's the best loss you can get. Ohio State would be the 1 or the 2 seed. Notre Dame needs to go into Duke and murder them. They need to get convincing wins against good ranked teams. They need to beat the shit out of Duke. They need to go into Clemson, win in Clemson, which is going to be a tough game, and then beat SC. I don't think they do that. I actually think they lose to Clemson and SC, but I do think they win this game. So I'm going to go. This is not beyond the card, but if I had to pick a side here, I'm leaning Notre Dame minus 5.5, but go Duke. I'm rooting for Duke. I hope Duke does well.
Please.
Yeah.
This is a very strange spot for me because I cannot agree with Ryan any more than I possibly am at this very moment. Ryan referenced something. I don't remember when. I think it was a couple episodes back. But you were talking about how every year preseason we look at Notre Dame, we look at their schedule, we bet they're over, and every single year we are disappointed and they never hit. Again, looking at their schedule, I think preseason I marked this one down as a win over Duke. Not thinking Riley Leonard or Duke would be relevant at all. But I think you're absolutely right. I think them trying to bounce back after last week. Duke has also one of the best defenses in the nation. They're absolutely stout. Sam Hartman, I don't know if he'll be able to get actual champ momentum going. Not to mention Riley Leonard is on fire. Give me Duke plus 5.5. Again, weird spot, but I cannot agree with Ryan any more than I am.
Yeah, that environment's going to be pretty crazy, too.
They
they go nuts for basketball, and they're ranked.
Well, the problem is they don't have a big stadium.
They probably can't.
When did they ever have a chance
It'll
at
be
the
loud.
ACC championship?
Yeah, it'll be loud.
This is their chance to actually be in the ACC championship game. For the first time, I can't even. I don't even know.
I mean,
what's the rest of their
They already
schedule
knocked off
look like?
Clemson.
They already knocked off the biggest one. Even if they lose again,
They have a tough schedule. They
you can't
play
put Clemson over them
Florida State, Miami, and
Just because the head-to-head.
because they beat Clemson.
Yeah, they play Florida State, Miami, and Notre Dame. So, I mean, they have a tough schedule. But they went, the top 2 teams in the ACC no matter what, regardless of side of the ACC getting there. So, I think, they win this game. It's technically not a conference game, but this is huge for Duke.
Huge.
Mario?
For me, this is kind of a weird spot. It's kind of like what Tyler said. Notre Dame right there with Ohio State. I think they played good enough, and Sam Hartman played good enough to even win that game against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ohio State pulled it out in the end. I think this is going to be another close game. I think Duke's going to cover. I think Notre Dame's going to win. And I also like the over here.
I love the over.
Actually, I think it's going to be kind of a shootout. It's going to start off a little bit slow, and I think second half it's really going to reel up.
31-27.
I think Notre Dame gets out to kind of like a big lead. Duke kind of catches up. It goes a little bit back and forth. I think Notre Dame pulls it out in the end. I think they win by like a field goal, but I think Duke covers.
Yeah, you just hinted at it. What an awesome quarterback battle we get to watch. Though.
Yeah.
Sam
NFL
Hartman.
scouts are going to be all over this game because Sam Hartman's like up there in the
played
mix
well
for draft
last
boards,
week,
and then
so.
Riley Leonard's at the top. So we get to watch 2 great quarterbacks. Hopefully it's a high-scoring game and just a lot of points.
General curiosity is because Ryan had mentioned this in the Heisman conversation. Is Riley Leonard actually being talked about for like NFL, seeing him on Sunday type?
Well, Mel Kiper has him
or-
as QB.
QB3
He's
right now.
3 or 4.
Yeah, but isn't Mel Kiper's list always kind of like?
But it's usually what you get.
Crazy,
It's usually
like-
what you get drafted. Riley Leonard will get drafted in the first round, or like I think maybe like
if he finished up the
late
season,
first round.
as he said.
Regardless, dude, he was people like just side note on Riley Leonard. He was a big basketball recruit.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
Yeah.
you're supposed to.
And so he's a freak athlete. Like this dude is crazy
That's why
athletic.
he's gonna run.
He
all
didn't
over
play
it.
football till later in his career. This wasn't one of those guys that was trained as a quarterback since he was in elementary school.
Yeah.
He's a basketball guy that just picked up a football and turned out to be a freak, just an all-around stud. So NFL talent, people love mobile NFL guys who can throw the hell out of the ball, and that's Riley Leonard. So yeah, he'll for sure be. He'll be playing on Sundays for definitely. But yeah, that was the college football action. Let's go ahead and tell you our picks on the card and get into some mortal locks after.
Let's do it, baby.
We are here, everyone's favorite part of the show, where we give you all of our best bets for the week, our picks on the card. The cards have been great, as we mentioned earlier. 48% over here, all over 50% on this side with Ryan at 62%. So, we're really giving out winners. Let's go ahead and start with Mario. Start with your NFL picks and then go into college football. Tell us every bet you are taking this week.
All right, every bet I am taking this week. For NFL, we're going to start with the Dolphins +3 or +2.5, whatever you get it at.
Love that.
Like I mentioned, feels a little trappy, but play Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. I love this line. Rams +1 versus the Colts. I like this spot here for the Rams. Ravens +3 versus the Browns. Again, I feel a little bit like a fish on this line, but I like the Ravens in this spot. Chiefs -10 versus the Jets. Jets can't score. Seahawks +1.5. Mentioned that earlier. And then the Bucks Saints over 40.5. I actually think both offenses put up points.
Over in that game.
I know it's gonna usually defensive. I think it's different this year.
Flip.
Okay.
For college football, every week I'm riding Colorado. So give me Colorado +21.5 against USC. I think they'll hang in there.
Got to
I actually like
start
that
the card the
pick.
same
I like
way.
that.
Yeah.
Respect.
Washington -18 versus Arizona. Washington, Michael Penix just puts up points. Love it. South Carolina +12.5 versus Tennessee. I actually think South Carolina is a little bit stingier than people realize. I think Tennessee wins, but I think it's a little bit of a grind out game for Tennessee. Oklahoma -20 versus Iowa State. Iowa State's trash. Oklahoma going to ride in high into next week. Oregon -27 against Stanford. Stanford's terrible this year. Kansas plus the points, as I mentioned earlier. Georgia -14.5 against Auburn. This line, again, feels very trappy, but got
Trap Queen.
Yep, Trap Queen. And then Clemson Syracuse over 53. Love this spot here.
Ooh.
That's an
And
interesting.
and then to finish it off, 3 soccer lines all plus money. Liverpool +120 versus.
Bang!
That's Mike's team.
That's Mike's team.
Sorry.
If you couldn't tell.
If you couldn't tell. Atletico Madrid +115 versus Osasuna. They just killed Real Madrid, so this should be a good plus money spot for them. And then little honorable mention. It's not an official upset, but RB Leipzig over Bayern Munich +250. Leipzig's been playing very
playing
well
good,
this
yeah.
year. So, and that's my card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bang. I like it.
I love that.
Mike, give us the winners.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns, as Mulan would say. All right, starting with NFL, we are going to match you with the Rams +1.5 against the Colts. Gonna go with the Dolphins +3. If I'm a fish, I swim. We're also gonna go with the over a 54 in that game. I like points. Saints and Bucks under a 40.5. No points.
No points.
Eagles, Commanders under 44.5.
No points.
Also no points from the Commanders. I think all the points from the Eagles, but still no points. And lastly, Steelers -3 versus the Texans.
Oh yeah, he's good on that.
Let's go Steelers.
Sharp.
No, in my mind,
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
I went shit, and then I went. Okay,
Let's go
great.
Steelers.
Let's go Steelers.
Moving on to college, I'm going to start with the must-ride Texas Longhorns -16.5, and also the under of 62 because, I mentioned it. I think I'm sharp. Gonna go with the newly ordained Colorado bet of USC -21.5. Utah +3.5 against Oregon State because DJ Avatar, he's out of there. Continuing, Harbaugh's back, so Michigan -17.5 versus Nebraska. We're gonna go with the Duke +5.5. Already talked about it, and Oregon -27.5 because I love Bo Nix and Stanford sucks.
Well,
Wow.
that's hot.
I like it.
Bang.
Well, a couple more NFL picks this week.
Yeah,
We're trying to
yeah.
ride the wave there, I see.
Exactly.
I like it.
Get that
All right.
book to match the percent.
Yep,
Like-
here we go. This is the week I feel like I'm seeing the board very clearly. I'm not going overkill with the picks, but I really honed in. I like these ones. So starting off, Jags -3 over the Falcons. I think this is
They have to come back.
this is a must win.
They have to.
Yeah, this is a must win for the Jags.
They
They
can't
go
go 1-3.
if they go to 1-3, it's brutal. Their offense has looked awful the last 2 weeks. Not sure what happened against the Texans, but this is just, to me, this feels like an overreaction line.
Add that to my card. Too.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm going to add that.
Yeah, Jags -3. Dolphins +2.5 in Buffalo. I like the over 46 in the Bears-Broncos game, as we talked about. Always have to bet that. Bengals -2.5 over the Titans. The Titans are bad. The Bengals are not great, but they cover this number, I think, pretty easily, actually. And I like the Bucks +3 at the Saints. I am a fan of the Buccaneers. I think the Saints are not that good.
Especially without Derek Carr.
Definitely without Derek Carr. Give me the points there.
Winston sucks.
Moving on to college, starting every card the same way as you will learn. Air Force -10.
Shout out Kyle. Shout out Kyle.
Air Force -10 at San Diego State. This is an easy win for Air Force. They have been killing teams. They are almost ranked in the top 25. They're on 28.
They climbed their way.
Yeah, no, they
Let's go,
are
Air Force.
one of the few. There's not too many. There are a lot of undefeated teams, but they're one of the undefeated teams. I love Air
Bang.
Force. Utah +3.5 at Oregon State on Friday. If you're watching this on Friday, bet that now. Louisville -3 also on Friday against NC State. Louisville sneakily playing a really, really, really good season in the ACC. Undefeated right now. Quarterback play out of this world.
And they're not playing North Carolina.
They're playing NC State. And I
Bang.
don't think NC State's that great.
Bang.
Florida +1 at Kentucky. This is a tough spot for Florida, but I think they pull it out and actually assert themselves at the top of the SEC. USC -21.5 at Colorado. This line, after what we saw last week, should be 29, but they're at Colorado. I'll give them some leeway. There's nothing different about this game than the Oregon game. It's a murder. Michigan -17 at Nebraska. I've taken the other team, the other side of the Michigan spread every single week.
With Harbaugh gone.
I feel very differently now.
We're on the same side.
They're going to run Nebraska. I think this is the week I think you see the top teams start covering. Michigan and Georgia both haven't covered a spread this year. I think that changes big time this week. Washington -18 at Arizona. People are overhyped to Arizona from what they've seen the last couple weeks. People think they're good. They're not good. Washington's awesome. And lastly, Memphis -3.5 at home against Boise State.
Oh, that's it? Because you said Michigan and Georgia, you feel like they're both going to cover this week, Pedro.
They will.
Dun, dun, dun. Spicy,
wait,
spicy.
oh, wait,
We'll talk about spicy later.
Yeah.
All right, starting off with the NFL, we have the Lions +1.5 versus the Packers. Easy spot here. You know I love
Like
the
it.
Lions, as we said. The Ravens +2.5 against the Browns. Another
Like
spot. I don't think the Browns are that good. They played the Titans last week and looked good. The Ravens didn't look good last week. They get 5 returning starters that were all injured last week.
Yeah.
There were a
Yeah.
bunch of injured players last
Yeah,
week.
the whole team was out.
They're going to come back and be fine. Seahawks +1.5. We talked about it versus Giants. I think they easily win this game. Not a sweat. Cardinals, Niners over 44. I mean, Cardinals have been putting up points on any defense.
Yeah.
They put up 14 here. Niners do their normal roll of 35, whatever it is. Score 50 here. Easy cover of this over. Vikings, Panthers over 45. Kirk Cousins on the field. I'm betting the over. Simple as that. Nothing's going to change in that. Going to college football. Started off with Middle Tennessee Friday game in Western Kentucky. Over 60 points. These teams score like crazy, and they will continue to do so. Utah +3.5. And the money line versus Oregon State. DJ Avatar. I did it last week with Washington State. It'll happen again this week. Georgia Tech Bowling Green over first half 27. Both these teams hit
That's sharp.
5 out of the last 6 games.
I like that.
First half and then slow down. I love this first half.
so
USC Colorado. I wanted to pick a side so bad because Mike is bad at college football and picked USC and I don't think they're that good.
Their defense is trash.
I'm going to say screw all that. I'm going to do USC Colorado over 73.5. Wow.
Okay.
USC might win
Love
by
that.
21.
Okay.
But their defense is so bad, Colorado's going to score. This is an Oregon defense where we get to the quarterback. USC's defense is bad.
Wow.
That's fair. That's fair.
This pick is one of my favorite picks of the week. It will be behind my modal. Kentucky -1 over Florida. Devin Leary's name needs to be talked about. He is very good at Kentucky, and Florida only beat a really bad Tennessee team. They caught him in a good spot. Looked terrible against Utah to start the season with a backup quarterback and a brand new team. I just love Kentucky here. I think they're very underrated. I think them and Florida switch rank spots. Florida gets out, Kentucky gets in after this week. Clemson -7 against Syracuse almost was my mortal. I love it so much. I think Syracuse is not as good as people think. Clemson's defense, I think, is gonna put on locks. Is it Schrader?
So you like the under?
Huh?
Yeah, I like that. Is it Schrader? That's the Syracuse quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna lock him up.
I don't know if Nate Wiggins is playing, by the way.
Don't matter.
He's
Don't matter.
top corner.
Also,
one of the top corners on the board.
Will Cade get in his stride? Last week was the
He
first
looked
time
great
I
last week.
got against a good team, got the blood going, so I like the -7. Cal -12 versus Arizona State. Cal puts up a ton of points. They just do, and Arizona State won't. I hate them. Screw them against
ASU
USC
covers.
last week. Screw them against last. Well, Cal's better than USC. I'm just kidding. But they're terrible. Michigan minus 17 versus Nebraska. I can't go against that. It's just too free. Kansas plus 16.5 against Texas. Already talked about it. Lock. Toledo minus 13.5 versus Northern Illinois. Me and Tate's favorite picks as always. Shout out Finn. Missouri Vanderbilt over 54.5. Tons of points in the game. Missouri is now ranked and they score like crazy. Ole Miss plus 2.5 versus LSU. Already talked about it. Love it. Oregon first half minus 14.5 against Stanford.
I like it. Add it to my
Just
card.
in case
Add it to my card.
they take out players.
He added it to his college card. 30,
Well, he already has the whole
34%.
He already has the whole game.
but
But he
that
didn't pick
that
it.
was
He
Ryan's
added
pick.
it. That was my pick.
All right,
That was
that's
my
fair.
pick.
That's fair.
Duke plus 5.5 against Notre Dame. Already talked about it. Absolutely love that. Love it. And one of my favorite games of the week. Everyone should have on the card, including you guys. Washington minus 18 versus Arizona.
Yes.
That's going to be a bloody freaking scene after that game in
Yes.
Arizona. It's going to be a murder. Absolute murder.
I'm all over that game. All right, Tate, round us out. Tell us the card.
All right, starting with the NFL, we have the Chiefs minus 9.5 at the Jets. I mean, I'm gonna bet against the Jets for the rest of the year. Also the under because the Chiefs are not gonna win 45-0.
All right, don't be so sure.
Almost the last week.
I mean, okay, they might.
If you lose that way, you lose that way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's
If I'm losing that way, Zach Wilson is not a top 32 quarterback. Jaguars minus 3 at the Falcons. Jaguars are a wagon outside of the United States.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a London
that's
game.
game.
Famous in
the national
London,
game.
so
I'm
I
not,
love
Ritter
that game
might
so
not be able
much
to
now.
fly right. Put Jaguars on my card, minus 3. Add it.
Jaguars minus 3. Broncos minus 3.5 at the Bears. I'm going back.
The
to the well.
hurts.
It's Bears plus 3.5. It's
Seahawks
Bears.
minus 1.5 at the Giants. We already talked about it. Absolutely love it. And the Eagles, I think, are like way better than everyone thinks they are. They just somehow comfortably cruise through games against the Commanders. Minus the 8. That's it for NFL. We're going to move on to college football. We're going to go with Oklahoma minus 20 versus Iowa State. They're 4-0 against the spread, although I did have them minus 14.5 last week. They won by 14. That hurt. It closed at 13.
Yeah, you would have got it.
Which hurt.
Our podcast
yeah.
comes out. We talk about it on Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, you would have got a better number. But
Yeah,
still a
that
great
was
pick.
So, still, I'm riding. They're 4-0 against the spread. Iowa State's terrible. Penn State, Northwestern under 47. Such a hangover game. Penn State's
41-0.
defense is so good. Yeah, I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I like spread, but I'm only taking the under. My crappy pick of the week:
Bang!
Eastern Michigan plus 7.5 over Central Michigan. It's at Central Michigan.
Did you hear your crappy pick of the week last week?
I did. Western Kentucky plus 3.5.
Bang!
Lost by 3.
I was going to fade but I'm
That's
not fading
sharp.
'cause you're-
Yeah.
That's
It
sure.
was sharp against Troy. Louisville minus 3 at NC State. Yeah, what
Yes.
Tyler said, Jake Plummer, that kid's legit. He's
Yeah.
playing a sneaky good year.
They're having a really
and
good
NC
season.
State's
Brandon
not
Armstrong's
some
nice.
like crazy. Yeah, Brendan Armstrong, whatever. Love Louisville. Georgia minus 16 at Auburn. Auburn has a serious problem at
Minus
quarterback.
16. Where'd you get that number?
That's a lot.
14.5.
They might have
All
got
right,
it.
14.5.
Yeah.
Auburn has a serious problem at quarterback. I don't know how they're going to
Why
play
is it so
football.
low?
Three quarterbacks last week played for Auburn, and they combined for 56 passing yards.
Yeah,
Why is
it's-
it 14? Why isn't it
it is
28?
bad. They don't have an answer. Washington minus 18, just added it to my card. And Notre Dame minus 5.5 at Duke.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Those are all the card picks. Let's go ahead and talk about the upsets.
Little sweet.
Here we go. Everyone's most fun bet of the week. The
Oh, yeah.
plus money underdog picks. Last week, 0 for 5. But overall on the year, we are up a bunch of units on the upsets, as we talked about earlier. We're going to kick it off with Tate and go around the board, and with Mario, who's our hottest upset player. Tate, what is the upset of the week?
For this week, in the upset of the week, we're going to go with a Pac-12 school. Arizona State plus 335 against Cal.
Wow.
I like that.
Okay, Arizona
That's
State,
something.
Ryan hates them because they covered against USC last week.
Yep.
They were creative. I don't know. Their head coach somehow put together some sort of weird creative game, and they somehow played a little bit of defense against an absolute electric
The
USC.
running back, Scatterboo.
USC offense. I actually kind of like them this week, plus 335. I'm not even betting the spread because they either win outright or, I guess Cal will just kill them. But
USC's defense is a high school team.
Oh, I like it. All right, so we're getting some juice on that.
so
plus
Arizona
335.
State plus 335. I mean, yeah.
There you go.
I didn't like a whole lot of upsets this week, but that caught my eye.
All right.
You know what you do with juice? You get more of it.
Oh,
I have
Bang.
a plus 432 bet.
Ooh.
It's Indiana versus Maryland.
Ooh,
Maryland's looked good this year. They've looked really good this year, but they have not been tested once. They played barely Division I teams. They haven't played a Big Ten team, so they have not been tested in the Big Ten.
That's true.
Indiana's played Louisville which they played well. They lost by 6. They played Ohio State, which they played well. No, remember we all got screwed in that spread. It was only a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter, or a 10-point game.
Yeah.
I think their defense holds here, and it's a bad scoring game. I just think this is too juicy of a line for a Big Ten game. Oh, I just love it so much.
Wait. I did Pac-12. He did Big Ten. Are you going to the ACC?
No, we are not.
Oh,
But no, I will be betting that. I do like that line a lot.
Yeah.
I'm shooting for the fences here. We have not hit one upset yet. It's because we've been trying to play around with these. Plus 100, plus 400.
No, we don't like that.
You know what's better than those? Plus 950.
Bang.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Oh, I'm all over it.
950.
UAB plus 950 at Tulane. And let me tell you why.
Wow.
No, it's a shot. It's a shot play. You're taking a shot here. UAB has these are their 4 games.
Let him go.
These are their 4 games on offense. No, I'm not saying I don't even have them on the spread. Like Tate said, they either win this game and it's close, or like it's just a blowout. But I love you're getting almost 10-1 here. They've scored 35 points, 21-21. They played good teams like Georgia and Louisiana, who are like actually competing. Georgia's number 1 ranked team. They scored 21 on them. Scored 35 in Louisiana. Like they can score points. They've scored points in every game. Tulane has not put up a crazy amount of points against like pretty good opponents. I'm not saying UAB is that good, but if UAB catches them quickly, if they score like 14 points right off the gate, I think this game can be close. And we've seen Tulane crumble at home. We saw them do it against Ole Miss, where they were winning the whole game and they lost by like 3 scores at the end. Yeah, I don't know. This is a sneaky spot. UAB's played some really good teams this far. I don't think they'll be shocked by how good Tulane is. Are they home team? No, Tulane's home. But they've seen good teams. They've seen Georgia already. Tulane's not going to surprise them. So
You got to sprinkle it.
UAB plus 950.
Only juice real quick, though. Plus
335.
430 and
Yeah,
950.
950.
Don't worry,
Like,
Mike will give you that plus
Mike will give you that
110.
even-
Yeah, I wish I could keep up that type of heat. But Kevin, if you could do me a favor and zoom into my arm right here, it lovely says, Bijan to the promised land.
Let me see that.
Says Bijan to the promised land.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 5 words.
Promise?
Promised. Past tense promise.
Not promise.
it's
promise.
the promised land.
It's in the past.
don't
though.
cross
It's
it out.
already-
No,
He already
cross
went. He already went.
Bijan's already there, and he's
The
going,
promised land.
he's going back in time.
No, I think it was promised and now he's going. Okay, regard me. Plus 150. Bang. Jacksonville. Yeah, very mid. But Bijan shot out of a cannon. He started the season hot. He's coming in for that 3rd win. Bang. Plus 150. Get your juice now. Jamba juice, baby.
I
He
like
ain't
it.
running for more than 3 yards of carry next year.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
all
He's
in,
not Jameer
all in
Gibbs.
Jacksonville play. But all right, Mario, round us out.
83%, baby.
Nothing fancy here. This is my lowest upset pick of the season so far. I'm going Dolphins plus 130 at the Bills.
Ooh,
I was going to ride that.
Yeah, I just like the
I
spot
was
for the
gonna-
Dolphins. They're really hot, so give me the Dolphins plus 130.
all right.
I like that.
Let's get you back on
I like
the winning
that a
train.
lot.
So yeah, let's get you back on the.
All right,
upset.
that was your upset of the week, and now it's time for the main event, the Mortal Locks. Let's make some picks. It is time for the Mortal Locks. This is what we are giving you a free roll on all season. There are only 3 of us in the parlay because Ryan and I, unfortunately,
It's so disappointing.
are relegated.
Wah, wah,
We're not good enough to
That's
be in this
bad.
parlay. But what that means for you is you only need these 3 bets to hit, Mario, Mike's, and Tate, to get paid, and we'll calculate the odds live after they give their picks. So we're going to start with Mario. Tell us what your Mortal Lock is, and this is the first leg of the parlay.
For the first leg of our parlay, my mortal lock is going to be Arkansas, Texas A&M over 54.
Ooh.
I'm just all over
Interesting.
It. I don't care what you say.
A&M's been putting up points, dude. And Arkansas, as we saw last week, they can hang in there against a good team like LSU, and they can score. So 54, I feel like it's a little bit low. I think they're going to go over this probably pretty easily. So
Dude, you're on fire.
I-
How can
I
not
love that.
be all
4-1 on Mortal
every
Locks,
single time?
80% on Mortal
Like, oh,
Locks.
you're so good. Like, you're just so. It's, you're so good. It's ridiculous.
And you're giving out the over.
I mean, not only that, but that math is also math.
Yeah, it's, like they score. Like KJ Jefferson's about
No,
to
that's
crazy.
that math
Cover
is
yourself,
math.
KJ.
I can't wait to bet that line. Mike, what is the over leg 2 of the parlay?
The over leg 2 is also going to be my second favorite offense in all of NFL, which would be the 49ers minus 14 against the Cardinals.
Wow.
We talked about how the Cardinals might be relevant, might be somewhat decent. It doesn't matter. The 49ers are so much better. They're going to smoke them. I think they're going to win by
like
like
this line.
24.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
I really genuinely think 49ers win by 24.
Yeah.
Like alt spread minus 23.5, easy. I don't think it's going to be close. Bang, 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 bang. 49ers, second leg of the Mortal Lock Parlay. We're going to hit this week. Tate, round us out, baby!
Tate,
Round us
Couldn't
out!
have said any better.
last leg of the parlay, Tate.
All right.
What is it?
I have been electric.
Electrified!
On Friday nights, baby.
Yeah. Friday
Okay,
Night Lights.
we're going to the Utah at Oregon State game. We're gonna go with a pick that nobody is a fan of.
Oh.
I'm going with Oregon State first half -2.5. Now keep in mind, this could quite change a lot because if Cam Rising plays in this game, it might be even odds. So you're gonna take the money line. Okay. Here's what I have to say. Utah their offense is abysmal. I mean, it's terrible. I watched them. UCLA looked the worst I've ever seen UCLA look, like almost in my life, other than their defense. And Utah could not move the ball at all. They scored one touchdown. We threw a pick six in the very first play. They scored 7 points last week against UCLA. UCLA, we're not no defensive-minded geniuses.
Yeah,
No.
Chip Kelly doesn't do that.
Now, this Damian Martinez kid, the running back on Oregon State, is electric. I
He
don't
is
care.
good.
I don't care about DJU or whatever. This Damian Martinez kid is going to run all over Utah. For some reason, you can't stop him. He's absolutely electric. Now, my reasoning for the first half line. I think if Cam Rising starts in this game, Utah could win this game easily, but I think he starts out a little slow. He hasn't played in what it seems like a long, he hasn't played football in a long time. He's gonna have to take some hits, get used to it.
Yeah,
so the first half, look,
a lot of
your
3.5s.
3.5 can still cover. I'm taking.
Wait, didn't you take Utah +3 when we were talking about it?
I didn't take anything.
Oh,
No,
you
he
did?
said, he said no line.
Oregon State -2.5 in the first half. Doesn't matter if they're not starting Cam Rising this week, which nobody ever knows. It's the easiest cover of your life. If Cam Rising starting, he's going to start off slow. It's the sharpest line ever.
Wow, Friday night first half to round out the parlay. That's
Wow.
electric.
I respect the logic for it, though.
Thousands,
Ryan and I are going to give you our mortal locks. These are not in the parlay. We just got to give them to you for our own records. We're also going to be betting these heavily. And then after this, I'll tell you what the odds are, what you're going to get paid if those 3 bets hit. I'll go ahead and give my first.
Go ahead.
I'm going back to the well. Whenever I start getting down in my best
need to get
bets,
back, yeah.
I need to get back. I do what my good friend Ed always told me, and he says, when in doubt, put it on the dogs.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Georgia minus
Shout
14
out,
and a
Ed.
half over Auburn. This is a line in the sand game. Georgia has not covered a spread. The books keep making these spreads smaller and smaller, and they keep
do.
not covering them and playing these games. It's in Auburn. It's an SEC game. They're like, oh, maybe they think it's going to be a shootout, or a struggle like the way the South Carolina game was. It's not.
Nope.
This is the one. This is the game they break out. This is the week Georgia and Michigan both cover their first spreads. Georgia big. I think they blow this one out by 35. I think they they will be outside this number in the end of the first or middle of the second quarter, and it will never get close to it. It'll be like the Oregon-Colorado game where they get to that 21-0, and it's never even a doubt between that. So very confident, more to lock Georgia minus 14.
History is pretty good for you too when you bet heavily on Georgia.
Yep,
So
it is. And I pick my spots with Georgia. I don't always bet them every week, but this is, I looked at the line, I was like, finally, they haven't covered 4 in a row. They're going to start, they're number 1 team in the country. Georgia minus 14.
I flipped that. I'm on it. I really love that so much. I'm all over it. All right, so new strategy for this mortal parlay. I am 1-4, which is the most demoralizing, worst thing I've ever been in my life. I can't look at myself in a mirror anymore. I put a bag over my head and brush my teeth. I'm nervous. So I made my card this week, and I had a random generator pick through every pick in my card. And
I
it came
love
up-
that.
And it came up because I'm 63%. You know what I mean? So
No, I
have
love
a better
that.
chance. I only have a 20% chance of getting it right. I now have 43% chance more of getting it right. So now
That math.
I'm gonna. I love this so much, and 3 people had on their card, I think. Oklahoma minus 20.
Yes.
Versus Iowa State at home. Let's go. Let me tell you a few things real quick. 1, Oklahoma has to have no stress, nothing on their mind for next week. They have to roll this week with nothing. They don't have to have a bad game and go, oh shit, what did we do wrong? What if Texas looks at us this way, does this wrong? They have to roll this week with nothing but good momentum. This is our home game. They have to have good momentum going into Texas next week. They have to kill them. 1. 2, Iowa State's averaging 15 points a game.
Yep.
Oklahoma's averaging 46 a game.
Yep.
Just do your job. Just score your average. Dylan Gabriel's about to go ballistic on this team.
Yep.
He's going to put up 55 points. They're going to run the table. I'm 95% sure their cover's 4-0 this year. I could be
Yep,
wrong, but I'm
they
pretty
are-
sure
they are 4-0,
4-0
yeah.
on the cover.
Make
they're
it
gonna,
5-0.
they're gonna make it 5-0. I love this so much. Like I'm absolutely all over this bet.
I love that.
I kind of do love that. too.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, game of the month. No. I'm coming back, and I'm coming back strong. Balls on the table.
Whoa.
Game of the month.
Game of the month.
I'm
Whoa.
all in. Oklahoma -20. Let's go.
Game of the month.
Bang!
Game of the month. First
Let's
game of the
go,
month.
kid.
Let's
First
get back. Let's get
relegation
back.
game and first relegation game
Double
of the month.
it up.
Double
If
it.
I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. it might be a death game of the
It
year.
might be death game of
It's
the
getting
year.
close to it. So Ryan and I, those were our 2 picks to get out of the relegation zone. The three picks for your parlay, those pay with a $50 bet. We're gonna be paying you if those 3 hit $350. All you have to do. $350. It's not as juicy as it usually looks. It's not the $1,200.
Yeah.
But,
But
hey,
it's still
there's only
$350.
3 picks here.
Yeah.
You got the first half line.
Hey, shout
You
out,
got-
shout out DJ. His Avatar game was last week. He's back to fight the Fire Lord in Cam Rising.
Firelord.
I love that.
Cam Rising.
Yeah.
That's hard. All you got is 3 picks. Mario, Mike, Tate. Their 3 mortals hit. We're just going to pay you $350. All you have to do is be subscribed, like the video, and leave a comment. That's going to be it for the show, guys. We're giving out, this is the week we give out $350.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Ryan and
Let's
I both going to get out of relegation, and then we'll have a 5-team
go.
parlay for next week.
And all of our cards will be over 50%.
Ooh.
The full
You
DJ
heard it.
Hours pod will be over 50% after this week.
That
Let's
would
go
be
there.
electric.
Let's do
Tate,
it.
tell the people what they need to do before they log off.
I mean, if you haven't liked, comment, and subscribed yet, I mean, that's just, you're losing money.
Yep.
That's minus EV, as Michael would say.
Minus.
So turn on that notification bell and know when we post so that you can click that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Let's win some money. Good
Game
luck
of
on
the
the bets
month,
this week.
baby.
We'll
of
see you
the
guys
month.
next week.
Let's go. Hook 'em horns.